Well, I think that at Airbus we have at least three convictions. First, aviation nowadays is absolutely necessary for our lives, for the functioning of our economies. It is absolutely part of our economies. Second conviction, it is clear that aviation is growing and will continue to grow. Aviation will more or less double during the next 20-25 years. So this has to be taken into consideration. And it has to be taken into consideration because at the same time, we know that aviation has an impact, in particular on climate change. And that's why we have to work all together in order to make aviation more sustainable. It is very important to consider that aviation is a global activity. We had last year around 5 billion passengers. We will have this year probably around 5.2 billion passengers throughout the world, with some mature markets, with some emerging markets, but very, very big markets, of course. For example, with countries which are almost continents, such as India, such as China, etc. So we really have to think globally. And that's why we try to work at Airbus with many foreign partners and, of course, with our global institution, which is ICAO, which is the UN branch dedicated to aviation. That's very important because if we want to face the challenges, of course, our historical challenge, which is safety, but also this challenge of decarbonization, we cannot act alone. The challenge of decarbonization is considerable, and there is no magic solution if we want to achieve our aspirational goal of net zero emissions in 2050. We have to work in several directions and to add different measures. It is what ICAO calls the basket of measures. We have, of course, the use of SAF, sustainable aviation fuels, which we have to enhance considerably. But we have also other measures, maybe with less impact, but again, we have to realize an addition of all these measures. I think in particular to what we can do in terms of procedures, air navigation. It can be more efficient. We can work also, of course, and this is particularly our job at Airbus, on the technologies. We also have the market measures. At the international level, we have the compensation, which is at the heart of the CORSIA system established by ICAO. At the European level, we have the ETS system with allowances, and we have to work on other economic measures, such as in particular carbon capture. We think that it is also something which could be very promising. So it's a complete panorama of measures we have to take in order to cope with this very important challenge. It is very important to realize that we have already achieved a lot of progress because the growth of emissions is much less important than the growth of aviation, but we have to continue, we have to accelerate, and I'm pretty sure that all the meetings at this Paris Air Show will contribute to enhance this dialogue and this collective mobilization for realizing this sustainable future of aviation.